All right, so game one is in the books for the Panthers. 5-0. 5-0. They picked up exactly where they left off at the end of the Eastern Conference Finals, to put it that way. So what I'm going to do, this is a little bit of a different recap, having problems with my big camera right now, so we have to record it this way. It's okay. It's preseason. We'll get the tech issues figured out. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to go over player by player for the most part, the guys that were in this game, because we're going to see a lot of different players in game two. So I just want to give you a quick rundown of what I saw. Spencer Knight got the start, looked good. He stayed in net. He looked comfortable. He looked very, very settled. So we'll put it that way. Weber, I guess Weber or Weber is how you pronounce it. He came in, had a couple of saves he had to make. Neither goalie was really tested all that much, but that's good to see. I'm just going to go down the list here. Mike Riley. Don't sleep on Mike Riley. Now, he's not somebody that I've been talking about a whole lot. We kind of picked him up there towards the end of the beginning of free agency. Don't sleep on this guy. He looks pretty good. Now, I know he's not a bigger guy, and he's not somebody that most people would expect to be in your top four, but he does have a shot. He looked really good on the power play. Remains to be seen. There's a lot of competition at the defensive spots, but Carlson and Kierstead are not playing at all today. So Mike Riley was definitely noticeable. Denisenko looks pretty much like Denisenko. Doesn't look like a bad player. He's active. He's involved. He has trouble finishing, and I suspect until he gets one in the net, that problem will continue. Lundell looked good. Barkov looked good. Evan Rodriguez. Barkov and Rodriguez have clear chemistry. Barkov didn't play a whole lot of minutes. Rodriguez looks the part, especially on the power play. We won 5-0. I think it was 4 power play goals. There was no complaints there. I'll get to the Oliver Ekman-Larsson at the end. Steven Lorentz had a couple of shots, couldn't finish, but he was on the third line a little bit, played on the fourth line a little bit. He looked active, did not look out of place in the system. Alexander True was on the ice. Zach Dalpe, who I didn't realize we still had, was out there. We know what he can do. Mackie I keep saying his name wrong. I had it right before I started filming. Samaskevich. I think I got it right this time. This dude looks ready, and I know it's only one preseason game, but he was a first-round pick for a reason. He's quick. He's got good hands. He got 2 goals. I think they were both on the power play. He looks ready. Now, here's the thing. He's a right-handed shot, okay? So where are we going to put him? If we don't send him back down, you're going to have to move some guys around if you're going to have him on the ice in the top 9. You could move. Kachuk technically is a left-handed shot. Could you go Kachuk, Bennett, Samaskevich? At some point, we're going to need to make room for this guy. Now, he could be, I said this on Twitter, he could be your Reinhart replacement. But you need to see this kid on the ice in the NHL season to make sure he's ready to go before you decide to not sign Sam Reinhart again. So I love what I see from this kid. I don't know if he can play on his offside. If he can play on the left side, then Samaskevich, Bennett, Kachuk could be a thing. I know it's game 1. I know it's early, but he stood out far and away. Like we're waiting for Denisenko to develop. Forget about Denisenko. Samaskevich is the guy. Eetu Luostarinen looks like he's ready to score 60 goals this season. He got 2 goals. 60 might be a bit of a reach, don't worry. But certainly, he looks like he could get 30 this year. He is rocking and rolling, ready to go. Brett Ritchie had a little bit of time out there. Gustav Forsling, fast as ever, man. He looks ready to go. Michael Benning is a defenseman. He is not real big. He's really not a big guy. I think he weighs the same amount that I do, but he's active. He moves the puck. He looks good. And look, when there's not a lot of hitting going on, these guys aren't that big, can look better. So that remains to be seen. I don't suspect he's going to make the team, mainly because of the competition, but he doesn't look like somebody that we'd be afraid to have out there on the ice either. Al sure didn't do a whole lot. John Ludwig looked good. Again, I know it's game one. Again, there's not a lot of room for this guy, even if he's ready to go. But it is a good sign between Semiskevich and Ludwig. Now, Ludwig's been around a little bit longer. He looked good. So I'm very pleased with this game. William Lockwood might be the guy that Paul Maurice was talking about in one of the interviews. He was talking about the guys that were going for the fourth line, and he said that there's one guy that I didn't know a whole lot about. Lockwood got a goal in the power play by deflecting a Mike Riley shot, and he almost had a second one. So, again, maybe not a guy that's going to make the team, but our depth this year, holy hell in a handbasket, the depth so far looks light years better than last year. Last guy we're going to get to is Oliver Ekman Larson. All I can say about Oliver Ekman Larson, as I can't find my cursor to stop, all I can say about OEL is if he can play like that. He made one play where he saved the puck from leaving the zone on the power play. I think that's the one he got to Luosterainen, and Luosterainen buried it. If Larson can play like that on the power play, we are going to have a top 10, maybe even a top 5 power play. That's the second half to my request. I made a video about this way before in the summer. If Larson is playing on that power play and we are playing well, and he looks like he did here today, I don't care when Aaron Ekblad comes back, you leave Larson on the power play. Absolutely. He looks like he's got a chip on his shoulder. He was moving around. These guys looked in midseason form, and maybe that's a product of having the short summer, but especially in the first period when Barkov did play and we had guys that were a little bit familiar with each other playing. I mean, the chemistry, the tic-tac-toe was right there. Rodriguez and Barkov, that almost kind of looks like Huberdeau and Bennett did when we first got Bennett. I feel a lot better, let's put it that way. And I know it's one game. I know it's preseason, but it was good to see those guys out there. Now we've got the second game coming up in about an hour and 15 minutes, so I want to make sure I get this up and out to you. Literally nothing to complain about. The referees called a lot of penalties. They will do that so teams can work on their special teams. We shut them out 5-0. You can't ask for more. All right, let me get this up and out to you. We're going to have a recap just like this after game 2, and then Stu and I will do a review in the morning. I've got a problem with my regular camera with the recap, the nice camera that I had. I think it's a bad SD card. I don't have another big one, so I ordered one, so that'll be here Thursday. So hopefully then we won't have a problem. Hopefully it's just the SD card. Otherwise, my good $2,000 camera has a problem, but I don't think that's it. So cross your fingers. All right, good start. 5-0. Let's do that again for game 2.